You think you know what wealth is. Gold bars, a fat stock portfolio, Bitcoin. What if I told you the secrets to modern wealth creation, to investing, to understanding inflation, and even the next recession are buried in the dust of ancient empires? I'm an economic historian, and today we're skipping the boring textbook tour. We're going deep into the financial engine rooms of the past to understand how money really works. This isn't just a history lesson, this is a masterclass in financial literacy taught by pharaohs and emperors. Let's start with Egypt. Everyone thinks of Tutankhamun's golden mask. Bling, right? But that's like judging Jeff Bezos' wealth by the cash in his wallet. The real wealth of Egypt wasn't gold. It was grain. The Nile River was their secret weapon. It flooded predictably every year, creating insane agricultural surpluses. And the pharaohs were smart. They built massive granaries. Now think about it. If you control the food supply, what do you control? Everything. These granaries weren't just for storing food. They were the world's first central banks. A farmer would deposit grain and get a receipt. That receipt was a claim on real value. It was traded. It was used to pay taxes. It was, for all intents and purposes, money. The pharaoh, by controlling the grain, was controlling the monetary policy. He could fund massive public works projects like the pyramids, not with gold, but by releasing grain to pay the workers. This is ancient asset management on a national scale. No gold standard needed. Okay, now let's talk about Rome, the ultimate growth stock. Rome's business model was simple: conquest. They were masters of geopolitical finance. They'd conquer a new territory, say Britain, and immediately seize the assets: tin mines, farmland, people for taxes. But here's their genius. They didn't just hoard it. They built the internet of the ancient world, the Roman roads. These roads weren't just for armies, they were for moving wealth. They connected the entire economic ecosystem, making trade efficient. It was the ultimate supply chain. But every empire has its crisis. As the empire got too big, expenses went up. So what did the emperors do? They started to cheat. They began debasing their currency, mixing less silver into their coins. Sound familiar? It's called inflation, printing more money, or in their case, minting worse money. People aren't stupid. They realized the coins were junk. They hoarded the old pure silver coins and spent the bad ones. Trust in the system collapsed. It was a full-blown financial crisis, one that contributed to the fall of the empire. A lesson in what happens when your fiat currency loses all credibility. But what if you could build a massive wealthy empire with no money at all? Meet the Incas. These guys were geniuses of a command economy. They didn't have coins. They didn't have markets in our sense. Their wealth was measured in something completely different: organized labor. They had a system called the mita. It was a mandatory public service. Every citizen owed the state a certain amount of labor each year. That labor built their incredible roads, their terrace farms, their cities. Their entire global economy, well, their imperial economy, ran on a perfectly managed database of human capital tracked on knotted strings called quipus. It was wealth management without a single coin changing hands. It proves that wealth isn't money. Wealth is a system for organizing resources. So what's the takeaway here? Egypt teaches us that controlling the supply of a core asset is the ultimate power, the foundation of central banking. Rome shows us that infrastructure drives economic growth, but that debt and currency debasement can lead to economic collapse. And the Incas prove that wealth can exist completely outside of what we traditionally call money. These aren't just cool historical facts. This is the blueprint. The patterns of boom and bust, of debt crises and financial bubbles, they're all here. Understanding the financial history of ancient Rome helps you understand the 2008 financial crisis. So next time you look at your investment portfolio or worry about inflation, remember you're playing a game with very, very old rules. The question is, are you learning from the winners, or are you doomed to repeat the mistakes of the fallen? Think about it. What system are you building for your own wealth? Let me know in the comments.